Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. On today's episode of Design Darlings, I'm back here with Levity of Levity Interiors, and we're back to design another room. If you're interested in finding out which room and how do we get to the process of getting to our final design concept board, please keep watching. All right guys, so Levity, I'm so excited that you're here again. We had such a great time working on The Office.
Which we're in.
Yeah.
And it feels so good.
It feels so good. It looks so good. And I know we kind of like started out with the idea of just designing one room, but I love her.
And I love her.
And we had such a great time working together that we're like, I don't want this to end.
No. Once this house is done, Tamar's going to have to buy another house.
Yeah. We're just
so we can keep working together.
Keep doing this over and over. So The Office, if you watch the other previous videos of Design Darlings, we talked a lot about why The Office was the best room to start with and what it means for me as a creative and needing a designated place for me to work. But just as equally important was going to be the next room that we tackled, because this is where I'm working. I'm going to need a place where I can relax, unplug, and kind of just like let my hair down and not worry about being connected to everything. So we decided on the master suite, my bedroom.
Yes.
So the process, like working with any design consultant, is that you have to have open communication.
Yes.
That's the number one rule. So what you sent over your design questionnaire.
Yeah, so send over a design questionnaire, and that's how I start with any client, and that's what we did for Tamar's office. So you start with a design questionnaire, and I have questions on there that I think are pretty typical, but that also I know that I need for my process to give my client the best end result. So like Tamar said, open communication is vitally important, and just think you're spending this money, you're giving this time, and if you're not open and honest, then you're not going to have the room or the space that you really love. So we started with that, and you wanted it to feel kind of separate from the rest of the home. I don't think necessarily in like disparate in the style, but just when you go in there, it's a refuge for you.
I want it obviously to stay on par with like the style and like the quality, but a completely different vibe.
Yeah, you walk in and you just let it all go.
Yes. Like this is where I feel inspired. This is the place where I'm going to get to work. But in my master suite in the bedroom, I want to completely unwind and just feel like I can relax.
Yeah,
you know?
it would just
what I want to
complete and utter peace.
Yes.
Relaxation, and I got a really great idea, which we'll show you guys, that I think is like the piece de resistance.
Yes.
Like this one was, right?
Yeah, the mirror was
that okay?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And it really will help you it'll set apart the space, and you know what I'm talking about.
I know what she's talking about.
So it sets apart the space, but it's just immediate relaxation and peace and calm. So I started then after the design questionnaire, I did a first pass at the design board, and this time I actually called Tamar and we went over my thoughts and why I chose each piece, and then we talked about any revisions that she needed. So do we want to start talking about
So my budget was also a lot different working with this room than the other room or the office. It was a lot less. I really splurged on the office, and I really wanted to stick to a budget of $2,500, no more, no less. And I really didn't want to skimp on quality though. So I was a little bit nervous, but it's really important.
Why were you nervous?
Well, just because like, can I still get the same look if I'm not spending the money? And the thing is, your designer should be able to work with whatever budget that you have. So make sure that you don't feel pressure to spend more or anything like that. If this is what your hard budget is, which mine was, $2,500 was it, that person needs to stick within that budget.
So, and I think we had talked about this a little bit before, but whatever your budget is, whether it's small or big or somewhere in between, you need to own that, be comfortable with it, and your designer should be too. One thing to keep in mind, though, I think is sometimes limitations. So just make sure your expectations are in line with reality. Something I'm super fond of is thrift shopping and secondhand finds. So sometimes that's a way. If you have a small budget, but you want a mid-century dresser, we'll go thrift shopping for it and have $100 budget for it. So find that in thrift shops, Craigslist, OfferUp. So yes, absolutely should be able to work within budget, but just make sure you're being realistic too.
And there's ways to kind of like get creative with your
Oh
budget.
yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I think we need to dive into this.
Yes.
I love getting an email from Levity, and it's the design process. Like, it's the design concept board.
It starts
because I have all the adjectives in my head and ideas, and now it's finally coming onto like a board.
Yeah, you get to see
it.
kind of what's in your mind, and what you're describing to me then becomes something that you can kind of touch.
Right.
You know, you can touch
light and
see.
airy is what I was going for. So this is the first.
And romantic.
Yes, romantic, peaceful, and like spa-like.
Yes.
You know, like I wanted it to feel like a refuge. So this is the first design concept board, and we incorporated the items that I already had which was my my bedroom. Well, my bedroom. Obviously, I have a bedroom.
You did have your bedroom.
I did have a bedroom. But my bed, the bed and the bed frame, the mattress, my vanity desk, and I think that was it, right? Oh, and
you had a pillow.
I had a poof.
But we didn't talk about that at that point. That was something that came a little further in the design process. But those were the main things that we started with. And so when you have items that you already have purchased or you're working with, like what I've done with Tamar, is say, could you please send me a link to that? Because then I can pull it onto the design board, check the dimensions, make sure everything is working properly together. Okay,
so everything basically is focused around the bed. The bed is going to be this. I just can't wait.
I feel like it's very regal, but it's also understated.
Yes. So I have this tufted. Okay. I have this tufted headboard that is just divine and luscious, and it's a linen material. And I got this from Target, and I actually got it for a steal, or what I thought was a steal. I thought I bought the bed for like $600. It was a California king. And then I get the bed and I'm putting it together with my friend Heather, and I'm like, I'm missing a part. So I accidentally bought just the headboard and not the entire bed. And we spent like 2 hours putting this headboard together. I was not going to take it apart and bring it back to Target. So long story short, I had to repurchase the whole bed and then have to keep the frame part and then return the headboard so that I have my bed. So anyway, it ended up still being a good steal because when I bought it again, it was like the same price. So
just a little bit more work.
Yeah.
Which that's okay. We like hard work.
That's my whole life with this house. All right, so we have this beautiful bed. I got in the color linen petal, and when you look at it online, the color is kind of very harsh, like it's
a little darker.
Bright. Yeah. And deeper. I did not want a bubblegum poppy pink. I wanted this to look adult, mature, sophisticated. So it's really important if you can get samples of materials sent to a fabric, get that before making a decision, because we were just talking about this prior to recording, is that we're a generation where we buy everything online. And when it comes to design and purchasing major pieces in your home that you're going to live with for years, you want to make sure that you like how it feels, how it like
the quality of it. I mean, there's so much that you can get from in person. And we're both saying we're really not fans of online shopping, which makes us a little.
When it comes to furniture,
okay,
I like online shopping when it comes to clothes. I know what I want.
I don't like online shopping, period.
But with furniture, it's a completely different game.
Yeah, it's just tough, and I think we've run into issues with like quality control and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think that's something you kind of allow for. Just know things may take a little longer, and some things can only be purchased online that we pull.
Right.
So it's kind of a catch-22, but everything worked out perfectly in here. So it's just something for us to be aware of.
And it's a good story to talk about the bed. So since that's the focal point, since the bed is such a big
It's
piece.
very visually impactful.
Yeah, it has this big bright color. We wanted the bedding to be really soft and simple, and so you pull these beautiful comforter bed set from Target as well, and it has these adorable little tassels
Yes.
on the perimeter of the comforter and on the pillowcases. I love them. They look really soft. And it's funny, another funny story. She pulled this after I had purchased stuff for my bathroom, my master bathroom, and I got it from World Market. I found this like really beautiful white tasseled shower curtain, and I had it up already. And when she showed me this concept board, I was like, oh my God, get out of my head. Get out of my head. I'm like, my master bathroom shower curtain is like exact match of the bedding.
Which is perfect because it ties and it provides that continuity. But yeah, that's a funny thing. I think we're just in sync.
In sync.
There we go.
Cue, dirty pop, like in sync. All right, so because the bed is a California king, and I don't really like a lot of pillows on a bed. I'm like really practical. I'm like, if I'm not using it, get it out of here. Like I'm not here for like 10,000 throw pillows that are just gonna go on the floor. I want to use my things. I want to use my things.
I feel like that comes from your mom.
You think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Where you're like, she'd be like, this is heavy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is good.
She loved that part, by the way.
She did.
Like, why did you talk about me? But I kind of like that. Anyway, shout out to Queen Helen. So we have this body pillow, and when I actually looked at the dimensions, it's from Urban Outfitters, and it's a beautiful like velvety luxe material, and it's not a huge body pillow, so it's not going to be like this college looking dorm kind of body pillow. This is like a little bit more sophisticated, elevated, and it's not as long. And
another term for it is a lumbar pillow.
Lumbar pillow. There we go. So that's the bed, and so I always wanted a sitting area like right at the end of my bed. Like if I'm getting dressed, putting on my shoes, you know, things like that.
If you want to take a photo,
right, like
all sorts of
have
uses.
like a little tray where I can sit things there, like a book or whatever, some candles. And you pulled, is this white velvet as well?
It is white velvet.
White velvet. And yeah, I did not like it.
And it's so funny because when I found this, I was like, it's the one. Which again, it's just, it wasn't. It wasn't for Tamar. So just that communication and her being open and honest with me. And when I called her on the phone, I went over why I chose each piece, and kind of like some other pieces that I first pulled in the office, you just felt it was a little too 80s.
Yeah.
I just thought about not your style.
Not my style.
I'm not trying to push that.
She wants me to be this 80s queen, and it's not happening. No. I just was not a fan of, I'm not a fan of like white leather.
And because it reminded you.
Yeah, of like growing up, like, and having that room. My parents are from the islands, and there was always a separate sitting area that you couldn't really touch. It was like lined with plastic. And you only sat there like when you had company, and kids weren't really allowed. And it just reminded me of that. And I was like,
we don't want that vibe.
No, I don't want to have like PTSD like moments like looking into my bedroom. No, so that was the thing that we had to revise. You also found this beautiful herringbone pattern pom blanket, throw blanket for the bed. And
the poms too, it's just, and the chevron pattern as well, or chevron or herringbone, it just adds some more visual interest because the bed is very simple and clean, and I think it could be totally fine without a blanket, but just throw a blanket on there too if we want.
Throw a blanket on it.
Throw a blanket on it.
I absolutely love my end tables.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Never really saw myself as having something super simple and clean. And it's very modern for what I probably would have gone for, but I just love how it just reminds me of like a upscale, modern Parisian apartment.
But not cold.
No.
It's not a cold modern.
I think it still adds warmth because of the curve.
The curves on it, absolutely.
It's absolutely beautiful, and I love that it has dual functionality of placing things underneath as well as on top.
Because it's very open. So you think when you have something that is open, like this end table, that maybe you're not going to have the type of storage that you would normally have, for a side table, but you absolutely do. I mean, there's 4 places for storage, and you could even put a basket. Oh.
We're gonna decline that.
But you can even put something underneath there. I mean, you can stack books under there. You can put a basket. You can put the throw pillows that you don't like for your bed.
Yeah.
But it's great. And it's funny that you said, you wouldn't necessarily pick that on your own. That's one of the great things about having a designer. And I think that's kind of why when I see certain pieces that, I'm not sure if you'll love or not, I'm going to put it and present it to her anyway, because maybe it pushes her out of her comfort zone a little bit, but that's how you grow and you get a space that you absolutely love, but you're like, I would never have thought of this.
Yeah, I would never have thought of that.
It's just those little extra pieces.
That whole area with the end table and the fixtures, the lighting fixtures, I absolutely love them. They're at first I was the same kind of deal. Like I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was like maybe too modern for me. But then when we were trying to find other ones, it just wasn't working. I'm like, no, this is the right one.
And sometimes you have to see a few options to know. And so from the board, you can see them front on. And Tamar just felt, I think they were, like you said, a little too modern. And so I sent her a side shot of it. And it does have this nice, delicate curve. So you're bringing in those curves. I think we have curves in all the spaces. I mean, the bookshelves and the chairs in here. And then we're continuing the curves in here as well.
So I wanted to keep that calm and that like peaceful vibe going. So I wanted to have an area rug that gave me that feeling. And because I love the area rug that you chose in here, it reminds me of a
gosh, it's so pretty.
It's like a watercolor. It's beautiful. So I kind of wanted that. So you picked out something similar, but it wasn't something that I was totally vibing with.
Yeah.
I just didn't love it.
Yeah, and when you looked closer too, you saw a bit more brown in it.
Right.
And that wasn't something that you wanted, was to have those browns in there. So I don't remember if it was at this point, I had sourced another one, maybe before, but I think it was a little bit more expensive. Or no, it was after the revision that I found another one. And we can talk about that rug when we get there, but yeah. That rug was another thing that we needed to revise.
We have the same curtains that we have in the office that didn't come in on time for the actual reveal. So they came in like a couple of days after. So we had to source another option from IKEA, but we're going to go back to our original choice, which were the West Elm, these crushed
grapefruit.
Yeah, pink. Like kind of distressed looking velvet that was long enough to kind of give you a romantic draping on the floor. So we kept that. We kept the same brass bar. That's beautiful. And I had my own vanity and my chair already. I bought my chair at a discount store. It's called And That here locally in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah.
So I couldn't find an actual link for it, so she just sourced
a
similar looking one for the design concept board. And then I have, this is like, I was not expecting this at all. Like I was
so excited about this. I was like, she's gonna lose it.
This is so cool because it's a fireplace. Holy crap! Like it's a beautiful marble and white fireplace, and I never expected to like. I want to have a fireplace in my bedroom. That's so dope. So I absolutely.
That was like the piece.
Yeah, that's like the mirror of my office. This is definitely the piece de resistance. And I absolutely love it. It was like one of those things that I just never knew I needed. And now that I have it, I'm just like, I don't understand what life was.
And you think about like you go into your master bedroom and you have a stinking fireplace. I mean, hello. Like luxurious, romantic, calming, comforting. It's so many things. And it's an electric fireplace and the marble on it is faux. But it has like beautiful just molding on it and the marble looks great. It had great reviews. It does give off heat. And in Florida, we're in northern Florida, but it does get cold here, y'all.
It does.
I promise.
Y'all.
Like 20 degrees sometimes in the winter. And so this will come in handy.
Yes. So the one
too.
thing that I was thinking that we would change was the art above the fireplace, the mantle, because it was just way too modern for me. I'm just like, this looks like a completely different like, no, that's not me. But
well, and it was funny because Tamar had said about wanting to have a mirror on a mantle, but she didn't have a fireplace. And now she has a fireplace. So we found this way
to bring, I love that. We brought it in a way that I was not expecting whatsoever, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, I was thinking if I'm ever gonna have a fireplace, I want a mirror over it and like have like cute like ways to style it on the mantle with like plants and photos and things like that.
Well, you can do so many things depending on the season, depending on if you want to shoot in there, if you want it really simple, if you want it a bit more eclectic and filled, kind of Max, you know, style. Maximus, yes, Maximus. And then I think the last couple of things in here, the faux olive tree,
which I absolutely love.
And I think the faux olive tree is a little bit more elegant of a tree. And like the green is a little bit more muted, so it kind of ties in with everything being calm and peaceful. And then I just placed a floor pillow to the idea of that maybe being by the fireplace, or you know, you can kind of use it wherever. But Tamar had a floor pillow, and so we're going to use that, but it's the same, that kind of like pink velvet, and the little trash can, which is great. And you already got a trash. You got the same one for in here too. And then we've got the same fan as well.
Ceiling fan is a must in my bedroom because I stay hot, and I'm that type of person who likes it cold with the fan and a blanket. So I opted not to want to have like a pretty chandelier, although it'll look great. It's not going to be functional and practical for my lifestyle.
And that's what you need. You need function and practicality, because otherwise you don't use it.
Yeah, and not everything's about a pretty photo on Instagram with design, you know, like, oh, like let me put this in here because I know it'll perform well in this photo. I want
don't do
it.
That.
Yeah, don't do that. I mean, you can, but in the long run, you're not going to be happy because you're not going to use this space. And this is not only a place where I have to work, this is where I live. So I need it to be functional and practical for me. And so that was the first.
That was the first one.
There was
pass at it.
And so you made one second one, and not too much alterations. We just talked about removing the art, the rug, the velvet,
the 80s bench, which I love. It's gonna end up in my house. You're gonna be like, oh,
you
there
know what
it
would look
is.
good in your house with that art that you redid.
Yeah, oh my!
That's
like on in the entryway.
Yeah, that would look
that
so
would look
cool.
so
That
good.
would look so good.
It would. Okay.
Oh, it's for Levity. It wasn't for me. So there was one minor revision, and we kind of like talked about things, and then you created the final design concept board, which is absolutely stunning. And let me. Wait,
I can't wait for this to be real, Tamar.
And you can't wait.
Right. Yeah, right. I can't wait for your bedroom.
This is absolutely beautiful.
Oh.
So we got a new rug, new seating area. We changed out the modern piece of art and put a beautiful, you sourced this, and I was like, I love it. I need it. This mirror is absolutely divine. Love it. And you also sourced a mirror for the vanity to make it more complete. I love that. And it just looks like me. This, I love, no reservation. This is my bedroom, and I cannot wait to see it in real life and actually like just be in it.
Yeah. I can't wait
Light a candle.
I can't wait to sit in the bed with you while the fireplace is on. Yeah, Clayton. Bring us the wine. Come on, Clayton.
This is gonna be so awesome. Like, I cannot wait for this reveal. I'm gonna. I cannot. So I actually like have most of the items already ordered. We're waiting on just the pièce de résistance. That's the last thing I have to get, because that was the most of my $2,500 budget, that was the biggest chunk
Yes.
going to that. So I kind of wanted to see if it would go on sale first before I purchased it, but it didn't look like it. But
it still fits within the budget.
Yes.
Everything fit within
Mhm.
that budget. And I
Mhm.
think the one thing I did differently this time was I didn't send a shopping list from the beginning because I didn't want you to look at it and say, oh gosh, that fireplace, that's a decent amount. Let's change it out
Mhm.
because everything else still fits.
Mhm.
So that was, I think, sometimes you gotta just, this is the beauty that you're seeing.
You want to fall in love with it.
Yes.
You want to fall in
And
love
know
with
it's all
it.
under budget.
Yeah.
We're not gonna maybe
Yeah.
say which one's the most expensive right now, but
exactly.
and I
Just
hope
know
that comes off the right way too.
Yeah,
that it
and
doesn't-
yeah, definitely not meant to like be offensive or
I don't know. I think what I'm trying to say is sometimes if you see the price of something,
Mhm.
and it wasn't insanely expensive, but it was the most expensive piece in the room, and say, oh, well, I can get like 2 chairs instead of the fireplace, but the fireplace makes the room be
Yeah.
exactly what you want.
Yeah.
So that was why I didn't send the shopping list at first, but said, hey, everything is under budget. It was like 24 or something. But yeah, it's going to be amazing.
It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. It gives me vibes of just peace. I love the neutral colors with the pops of my signature color. I absolutely love it. It feels very me, but at the same time, very grown up, adult.
Absolutely.
I don't,
Sophisticated,
like,
elegant.
this is a 32-year-old grown woman
With the fireplace.
with a fireplace, master bedroom. Where is my wine? Okay.
Clayton!
Where are you, Clayton? Oh my gosh. So that was this process. It was a lot easier this time around since we went through it once before with the office. And the same tips from the first video apply to this. And it's really just important to communicate with your designer. Don't be afraid to say you don't like something like modern 80s style white velvet benches.
I will one day get her a modern 80s thing and she will love it.
No. Just be
yourself.
Be yourself. Yeah, perfect. So if you're interested in continuing watching the process from the design concept board to the actual install and reveal day, make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, and you turn on notifications for Design Darlings and Musings of a Curvy Lady so you never miss a Curvy Lady upload. I had such a great time doing this with
me
you.
too.
I cannot wait for install day. If you guys love the install day of the office,
just wait.
Oh, wait. It's gonna be
We're gonna have that
good.
wine. I am serious
Clayton,
about
Clayton has a job to do.
He does. Multiple jobs. Most important thing is the wine.
Exactly. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. But until then, please stay lovely. Bye.